Howdy guys. Today I'm doing something that I, actually never done before. I'm going to meet up with a couple of subscribers, and people that have, are very much involved in the social media of Penang. So they invited us, me and my family, to go and eat some traditional Nyonya food. So that's where we're headed now and try to check that out. I don't know so much about it, but yeah, let's try it. I'm sure it's good. So we were invited to try some Nyonya food with them, and which is double great. It's great. I've never had it here, and second one, I never had it at all, because although we stayed in Malacca, we never tried it. It's also in Malacca, Penang, and Singapore are like the main spots for Nyonya, right?
Nyonya cuisine, yeah.
Nyonya cuisine. Okay, let's try this out. This place is called CEKI, if I pronounce this correctly. Is it good? All right. Great, let's try it. Let's try it. Wow. Oh, see, this is a beautiful place. Not so filled up yet. No, sir? See, lots of famous people have been eating here. I don't know if they're famous, but maybe. And when they have their picture on the wall, that means mostly they're famous. All right. Wow, how intricate. What a beautiful, beautiful place. And a giant table who's here with us today will explain a little bit, about this Nyonya food culture and the, the similarities of the Peranakan, if I pronounce this correctly. So, Peter, how would you explain what is Nyonya?
Yeah, well, I would say in Penang, in the early 19th century, when the Chinese came, there are those who intermarried with the locals. There are those who also wanted to live the way a bit like the Malay culture and all that. So we became the Baba Nyonya community. So Baba Nyonya are actually Chinese, but because of our culture, the way we dress and the culinary influences and all that, that's how our community came about.
But the people who got married to Nyonya people, they did not convert to Islam.
They don't, because in the early days, I would say, even up to the early 20th century, the Malays at the time, they are not so into, like nowadays, they're very strict about Islam.
Nowadays you have to convert.
You have to convert if you marry them. In the early days, I would say that like what happened in Malacca, even 500 years ago, they were the earliest Baba Nyonya community. So what happened was that when the Chinese came, in those days, you don't have a passport or something to live here. Your passport is to marry a local Malay.
I see, yes, it makes a lot of sense.
Yes, and most of the people who come, the Chinese, are the men. The women don't come because the men are here to seek a fortune, and the women was back in China.
Yeah, of course. There are not so many famous sailor women or invaders. I don't know.
Yes.
And the word Peranakan.
Peranakan, in the Malay term, Peranakan just means someone who's born of Chinese marrying a local Malay.
Okay.
So Peranakan is a mixed race. But Peranakan is used a lot in Indonesia because the Indonesian Chinese who has been there even 700 years in Lasem, which is north of Semarang in central Java. So they would use the word Peranakan. So in the early days, I would say the 60s, up to the 70s or 80s, when you say Peranakan, it refers to the Chinese who came from Medan or Jakarta, but they're very similar to us, and even our dress is quite similar to them, the kebaya and the sarong and all that. But in the early days in Penang, we call ourselves Baba Nyonya, or straits-born Chinese, and Malacca, Singapore is the same. But nowadays we start using the word Peranakan already because maybe to have a common identity with the Indonesians and all that.
Are you self? Are you guys? You are an.
I'm a Baba.
You're a Baba,
Yeah, so
which means
the
man.
will be the Baba.
Okay.
I know that my great-great-great-grandfather, who came to Penang, was in about 1820s, I think 1828. He came from Medan. So he was already settled in Medan, and he already have Indonesian wife at the time. But he wanted to move to Penang, and then subsequently my great-great-grandfather was born here. So And then my great-great-grandmother is also a Nyonya, a Penang Nyonya. So at the time, you know, the Baba Nyonya, they tend to intermarry among themselves because they are the merchant class.
Yes,
at
I
that time.
understand. Do you speak amongst each other? You speak Chinese or English or?
In Penang, we speak Hokkien a lot.
Hokkien, yes.
Now, the Baba Nyonya in Penang, I would say since the last 100 years has been speaking Hokkien. But we also speak English because our grandfather, great-grandfather, all educated in English.
I see. Yeah.
But my great-great-great-grandfather and my great-great-grandfather, they spoke Malay, but they were actually speaking Indonesian form of Malay from Medan. And I know my great-great-grandfather, although he was born in Penang, but he actually went back to Asahan district, which is in Sumatra, to work at the time and look after the business. And only when he was about to marry that he came back to Penang and then married my great-great-grandma.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm the 6th generation. But you can tell from, like my grandmother will still wear, you know, when she was alive, she was wearing in Penang we call tongsang. In Malacca or Singapore it's called baju panjang. So it's the same.
Oh, the
long.
I like these ones.
That's the short one, the moderate one.
But there's a
If you
longer
can see
one,
this.
is the older one.
The short one is the Malacca, Singapore called kabaya. In Penang we also call kabaya, but Hokkien will call it kwa tante, which means half long, half short.
I see.
So they'll say kwa tante.
But the long ones are normally worn by older women.
Okay.
Yes,
So, well, the young women they like are these.
They like these short ones.
But do most of them still wear traditional clothing, or like the young, let's say the 20-year-old girls, they wear
They
contemporary
don't wear
clothing?
on an everyday basis. Only on during a celebration.
I see.
Still a special occasion for the Baba Nyonya community.
Who derived all those nice Nyonya dishes, and some of them are more a local delicacy, you know, from Penang. Like I think the braided pork, is that true?
Taoyuba.
Say again?
Taoyuba.
Taoyuba. And we have a sweet potato dish with
Lemak.
as lemak, just lemak, and the vegetable is from
The leaves of the potato
the
plant.
leaf of the potato plant. Very interesting. Do I also see shallots and maybe garlic? And then this is chicken.
Inchi kabin.
And what?
It's called inchi kabin.
Inchi cabin. I'm very sure I probably mispronounced everything, but you know we have these people here too. And this is what do you call this dish?
Perut ikan.
Parut
Fish
ikan.
stomach.
Fish stomach.
stew.
See, there's a lot of vegetables in there, and a fish stomach stew. All right. And here we have the spring rolls. It's mainly used as a dish. And you told me there's something different about these spring rolls. They're bigger. Is it than the regular Chinese? Is that
Yes,
right?
the regular Chinese spring roll in Penang is called popiah chi. This one is called chun pia. So it has a thicker skin because it's got a more substantial filling. It can include cabbage and minced pork and all that, and prawns and all that in there.
Okay, very good. And this is the
Egg blanda.
egg blanda. And blanda means Dutch because originally Peter told me that this is originally from Indonesia, the Chinese there, and this influenced by the Dutch occupants. So blanda means Dutch. We're not eating Dutch. And this we had, and then this is the main dish. This is the fish.
Fish asam curry.
A fish asam curry. Yes. The asams I like. I've tried asam before, and you see, nicely you have some mint and some. You see these pink colored things. They see this nice fish. This is what kind of a fish you said?
I think it's sea bass.
Sea bass. Yeah. And see the pink admins. This is from the ginger flower.
Yes.
Right?
We call it bunga kantang.
Okay, all right. So let's dig in, let's try some of that great food. So I'm going to try some of the spring rolls first, you know, which is, I'm actually using it as a start. It looks very good. So I don't know the etiquette, but I'll just put it on my plate and try it.
A bit of the.
You take. This is the Worcestershire sauce. Yeah, nobody ever knows how to pronounce this, but yeah. So there's some Worcestershire sauce with some chilies on it. So let's try this. Or do I dip this? Let's try this. Oh my God, almost fell down. Very good. And it's substantial. It's, there's a lot of minced meat in it as well. And you said there's also prawn in it?
Prawn, pork, cabbage, carrots.
Yeah. All of these things you taste. Very good. Do you want some chicken, boy? All right, see, that's always a safe bet for the kids. Okay, and then since this is right in front of me, I'm going to try some of these sweet potatoes with potato leaves, which is something that I've never had. I mean, sweet potato I did have before.
Bit of lemak.
Bit of lemak. Some of the sauce, lemak, which means, for those of you who don't know, lemak means coconut. So this is coconut sauce. So let's try this. Very good. I like this very much. Creamy, and which is very odd is to be eating the potato leaves. You know, who does that? The Nyonya do. And it's absolutely edible. Very, very good. Try some of that potato, sweet potato. Very good. Yeah, strange things like eating potato leaves. How does that come? How do people think of that?
The sweet potato leaves, which we call Huan Chu Hiu in Penang, Hokkien, it arose because the Chinese men were married the Malay wife. So the Malay wife wanted to cook something for the husband that would please him, and yet she couldn't exactly replicate all the Chinese dishes here.
Oh, yes.
So she will use whatever local ingredients she has, like sweet potatoes, which the Malays will use in their cooking as well. So in the course of centuries, the Malay cooking style and Chinese cooking style start blending together, or even the Chinese ingredients. So that's how the Nyonya cooking came about.
Okay. So I also got me a piece of chicken, which is, marinated in all kinds of, with coconut milk is in there and spices, and am I forgetting something? You just eat this like that.
With the same sauce.
It's the same sauce,
What do you call it?
Worcester sauce, again, Worcester. Do I dip this in this or just like this?
You can dip it,
I'll try a little bit of that.
Like you marinated in the same sauce already.
So this looks very good. A very good piece of chicken. Nyonya chicken. Already my favorite dish. Very good. And then, I'll try some of that fish stomach.
This one is sourish and salty.
So that's something very unusual. Let's say unusual to be eating a fish stomach stew, but I'm open to these things, and it looks very good. It looks a bit oily. You smell the coconut. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Put a little bit of that onto my rice. Veggies. Oops, maybe too much. Some of that. And maybe a piece of. Is this pineapple? Maybe a piece of pineapple. Let's try this. Try to get everything in one bite, including the pineapple. Does that look good? This tastes very familiar, actually. It's also a little bit spicy. I like this. This actually, it reminds me a lot of some of the Thai curries. Is that a possibility? Yeah, it's all related in a way.
Thai influence, yes.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Maybe there's lemongrass in it too. Is there a lemon?
Lemongrass. I gotta check.
I mean, but it doesn't matter. It reminds me a lot of Thai food, which is not meant, you know, derogatory. You know, it's good food. Thai food is also good food.
Yeah, it's good food. I love Thai food too.
Let's try some of the Dutch, the blanda, which is basically is like an omelette or main is the eggs and some veggies and what do you say? Some fried shallots.
Onions, yep, shallots. Yep.
But this is without the coconut milk.
Yeah.
And there's some fresh red onions, you know, which is always a great thing. Let's try that. Oops. Try that. With an onion on it. That's very good. Ah, very good. That's a very good egg. It's better than the eggs I made. Some pepperoni with it. Oh, what is that? Paprika? Paprika? Very good. So what have I not tried yet? Definitely one of the two main dishes, the fish. Let's have a piece of that. Oh, it's a nice piece of fish. Is it asam pedas?
Asam pedas, yes.
Asam pedas is I think this is a very well-known dish because I've heard this dish, about this dish many times, good things. Wow. That is good. That's very good. That's fantastic. That is all fantastic. And awesome. It's a very good fish. You know, the fillet is a very, you know, it's meaty. Very, you know, it's not like a cheap fish fillet. That's very nice. Also a little bit spicy. You know, asam pedas is always a bit spicy. I try it. It was the dayuba, right? The dayuba pork, the soy sauce pork, right? Which I'm not so much a big. Oops, it's very difficult to get. But you know, for the lean pork, I'm all for it. I'm not so much into big, heavy pieces of pork, but you know, I'll try this, and I am sure this will be very good. Cheers. This is actually very good. I had a lean piece of meat. This is very fantastic. But you said this is also a very Penang local dish. This is very good, especially if you're into pork. This place is for you. This is a great dish. And I'm very surprised I say this because, as I told you, I'm not so much into pork. Very good. Do you like your chicken, Vincent? Is it okay?
I thought two with them.
So Francis, Mr. Francis, you are responsible for cooking these great dishes. Are you alone?
Yes, actually, yeah. But the preparation is done by my Esther.
Your wife helps you with the preparations?
Yeah.
And how long does it take you for, of course, like for a feast like this, you know, like for a grand feast, how much time will you think, of course, you never prepared only for one set of guests, but how long would you be in the kitchen for this?
Actually, preparation for the ingredient, it takes about half an hour.
Oh, okay. That's not very long.
Yeah, not very long.
Yeah. And what time do you start cooking in the morning, or what? You open for lunch, but not for breakfast, or?
No, only lunch and dinner.
Dinner. What time do you get up in the morning, start preparing or cooking?
Around 9 o'clock.
Okay. Well, that's civil. That's still okay. You don't have to get up very early.
Yeah.
All right. It's very good food. I'm very.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I definitely can recommend coming here to CEKI.
CEKI.
Do I mispronounce it correctly? CEKI. Yeah, it's great food. There's three 3 Nyonya restaurants in the same street.
Yes.
The street by the name of
Sri Bahari Road.
Sri Bahari Roads. Yes, yes. So if you want to, of course, first you come to CEKI. That's the best of all 3. But if you want to try some Nyonya food, there's 3 restaurants in the same street, right?
Yes.
I guess the owner of the restaurant CEKI. So, have you been born in Penang or
Yes.
before that?
I was born in Penang.
And these recipes, right? Peter told me that the recipes they're brought down from your, from your ancestor, from your mother or grandmother. Is that a fact?
Yeah, it's from my grandma.
And are they guarded? Okay, nobody can. Is this special, or are these recipes also these dishes? Are they found in other of these Nyonya restaurants, or are
Yes.
they special, or only here? Or
You can find these dishes in other Nyonya restaurants.
Okay.
But sometimes it's slightly different because of the taste, and sometimes of the recipes, which maybe the ingredients what we put in is
A little
use, different ingredients slightly, so the taste is slightly a bit different.
Okay, yeah.
We have our own recipe.
How about the way of preparing and the way of cooking? Is that any different from other Nyonya restaurants?
I'm not sure how they do it,
Okay.
but we know that it's a very laborious job for us for this Nyonya labor intensive.
Nyonya food is quite interesting because through the centuries, they have standardized it. Which is like a Penang will have inchi kabin and kari kapitan and perut ikan and all that. And Malacca will have their babi pongte or ayam baklo and all that. But the thing is that this cuisine is not taught in a cooking school. It's not formalized like in Larousse or Cordon Bleu, but it's all from households. So each household will have their own, maybe the mother, the grandmother, or the daughter or the niece who's very good in cooking. And they will try and replicate this dish. But how good the dish is will depend on the cook's motivation and her skill
Yes, yes.
and her talents. So that's why no two, like say for example asam pedas, no two asam pedas will taste the same.
Yeah,
From
has
this,
our own fingerprint,
yes,
basically.
because they may put some tamarind, the other side may put less tamarind, they may put certain things. So it's quite interesting. Like the taoyuba, they'll put tofu in here, but some Nyonya family may put potatoes. They say, oh, we like potatoes. Some of them they put mushroom. Some put a hard-boiled egg. So
Sounds all good to me.
yes, but the taste will be the same. So at one point, somehow it crystallized that asam pedas is asam pedas. Perut
Yeah, yeah.
ikan is perut ikan. But each family will have their own slight variants. Sometimes people may taste a certain dish and they knew who cooked it, which household cooked it, or from which restaurant it came from, because of that unique characteristic of a slight variance.
For dessert we get some special Nyonya dishes, which also similar ones are found in the regular Malay cuisine. So they have glutinous rice, you said?
Yes. This is the black glutinous rice.
Black glutinous rice with,
coconut milk.
coconut milk. Right? It's very sweet, probably.
This is trigo.
This is trigo. This is wheat-based sweet, also with coconut milk.
Yes.
And palm sugar.
And palm sugar.
And palm sugar, right?
Yeah.
And the third one with bananas,
Pengat, yeah, like pengat.
and which has
Bananas.
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato.
sweet potatoes as well, right?
Yeah, and have got tapioca flour jelly.
All right. Let's try that. Let's try that dessert made of wheats with coconut and brown sugar, palm sugar actually. So let's try that. That's very good. The smells of childhood. It's very, very good. Almost has a little bit. It reminds me of of the milk rice that we were fed as kids. One I will try is the one with the black glutinous rice and coconut cream. That is it's less sweet, a little bit less sweet. It's still sweet, don't you worry for the ones who like it sweet. A little bit more creamy in a way. and it has a little bit less of a bite, but it is just as good. It's very good. And apparently it has a lot of a Thai influence. I've had similar desserts like this in Thailand, that's true. Very good. This is the last one, the third one, which has a lot of different kinds of sweet potatoes, jelly, and also, of course, coconut cream. So let's try some of that. Journey into my mouth. Yeah, of course, coconut cream. Try some of that. That jelly in the coconut cream. The jelly is very gooey, but I like. Very good, very good. Okay, so I just got out. I said goodbye to everybody. It was really good. It was really special. This CEKI restaurant and whole traditional things. Of course I cannot film everything they say, and I cannot repeat everything. But there is a lot to that culture. I mean, generally even to the Chinese culture, which I get closer here in Penang, because when I'm in China, I don't understand anything at all. So that's why this is so much better. And this Nyonya, see, I'm still struggling to pronounce it, but I will succeed to say it more properly. Anyway, so I was very, very surprised, and I'm very happy to have met these people and that great food. Okay, guys, I'll try to upload this with my bad filming skills, but maybe we can see something. All right. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.